Hey guys, it's Zach. Hope you all are doing well. Now I know, Samsung just announced their S20 line and the Z Flip. I want to try that thing out so badly, by the way. But I've got Samsung's Galaxy S10 Lite right here, right now, so I thought I'd share with you my thoughts on it after using it for just a couple days. So the unboxing is pretty much what you'd expect from Samsung. You get the phone, of course. I got mine in Prism White. Then you get your wall adapter, USB-C charging cable, and some USB-C earbuds because yes, this phone does not have a headphone jack. Yeah, I know. You'll also get a SIM ejection tool and a free plastic case. Not bad. Okay, so let's run through some specs real quick. We're looking at a 6.7-inch 1080p AMOLED display. It's got the Snapdragon 855 processor, Adreno 640 GPU, 6 or 8 gigabytes of RAM, 128 gigabytes of storage with a micro SD card slot. It's got a 4500 milliamp hour battery, 45 watt fast charging, and it does have an in-display fingerprint reader, but it is an optical one, not the ultrasonic one that we got with the regular S10s. Now the back houses a trio of cameras. Now these are supposed to be pretty darn impressive. I'll be sure to test these out for the full review. And there's a single front-facing camera housed in the same cutout we got with the Note 10. Okay, so first impressions. When I took the phone out of the box, I was pretty pleased with how premium the phone felt in the hand. It doesn't feel cheap or anything like that, but it doesn't have a full glass back. Now I say full because this is actually a mix of glass and plastic. They call it Glastic. Yeah, it's got a very familiar design language and it's actually wider, thicker, and heavier than the S10 Plus. In fact, it shares a very similar footprint with the OnePlus 7 Pro. So yeah, it's not a small phone. Oh, and the power button is in the right place this time around. Then as I turned it on and started using it, of course, I had to see what the phone was missing, what makes it so different from the other S10s and whatnot. So here's what's up. The screen is nice. I didn't mind it at all. 1080p even on this big of a panel is fine overall, especially on a less expensive device. The haptics aren't as good as what we get in the more premium options, but that's no biggie. Then I quickly began to appreciate that flat display. I love curved displays, don't get me wrong, but the tables are slowly turning for me as I don't really miss the curved edges that much anymore. From a practicality standpoint, this is it. What else? Right, so the S10 Lite does not have wireless charging, it doesn't have an IP rating, as you know, it doesn't have a headphone jack, it doesn't have UFS 3.0 storage, and it doesn't have stereo speakers. Now, obviously this phone wasn't meant to have all of those bells and whistles, and I get that, but I found out about the speaker the hard way, meaning one of the first things that I do when I get a new phone is to open up Spotify and test out the speaker. And well, yeah, this one was pretty disappointing. It's extremely easy to cover up and it doesn't get very loud. You guys remember how us reviewers would complain about single bottom firing speaker setups before? Yeah, well, it's like this speaker is straight out of the Galaxy S7 from 2016. All jokes aside, the speaker isn't the worst that I've ever heard. It gets the job done, but I know for a fact that Samsung could have done better than this. Anyway, enough about the speaker. I haven't had the chance to test out the cameras just yet, but they look very promising and they're actually very high end. Of course, I'll cover these in the full review. Battery life also seems promising. In fact, in the 2 days that I've used this phone, the battery life has been very strong, and the same thing goes for overall performance. It's good stuff. Alright, I'd be lying to you if I said that this phone's release wasn't confusing, seeing as how Samsung just announced new flagships to start the year, the S10e exists, and they just dropped the prices of the regular S10 line, which also means the used market is going to see even more slashed prices. This isn't a normal release, but the thing is, it wasn't supposed to be. It's now pretty clear that Samsung is looking to go the route that other manufacturers are going, to release a phone with high-tier essential features rather than stuffing it full of top-tier specs and features, resulting in a really heavy price tag. High-end battery life, high-end cameras, high-end performance, high-end display. These are the things that most users need. These high-tier essentials are more than capable of competing with what phones that cost twice as much have. All that extra stuff are just luxuries. So like I said, make sure you keep an eye out for my full review where I'll cover real world usage like performance, battery life, camera results, and just what it's like using this as my main phone. So far, so good. And I think once you understand what this phone is all about, you'll see that overall the S10 Lite does have a lot of potential. It's a strange release for sure, but if you're able to get your hands on one, I actually think it's worth a look, especially since its price will probably go down too. But of course, wait and see for my full review. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave it a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Go ahead and drop a comment down below what you think of the S10 Lite and the Note 10 Lite, which I do have, by the way. Don't worry, I'll make a video on that as well. I will talk to you guys in the next video, and thank you so much for watching.